My friends, I recently published a study in which I measured intramuscular connective tissue muscle protein synthesis rates in response to exercise and protein ingestion. And that's quite a mouthful, so what does it mean? Muscle is the only tissue that can contract. Muscle consists out of contractile proteins that are called myofibrillar proteins. These myofibrillar proteins can contract and thereby generate muscle force. However, the force generated by contractile proteins needs to be transferred to a bone for movement to occur. And this transfer of muscle force is facilitated by intramuscular and extramuscular connective tissue protein. It is well known that resistance exercise stimulates muscle growth and muscle strength. Even a single session of resistance exercise stimulates myofibrillar protein synthesis, which is the formation of new myofibrillar, so contractile proteins. Furthermore, the effect of exercise on muscle tissue can be enhanced by ingesting protein. When muscle mass and strength increase, you would expect that connective tissue would also have to adapt to keep up. Indeed, it's well established that resistance exercise stimulates intramuscular connective tissue protein synthesis. However, in contrast to myofibrillar proteins, this effect does not appear to be enhanced by protein ingestion. Several studies have investigated the effect of protein ingestion on muscle connective tissue. However, none of them has found a clear positive effect. Only one of them observed a small indication that maybe protein might do something. In that study, subjects performed exercise and then received about 18 grams of whey protein. Protein ingestion did not stimulate muscle connective tissue protein synthesis in the first 3 hours. However, in the 3 to 5 hour period after protein ingestion, it did appear there was a small increase. This is interesting because the stimulating effect of protein ingestion on protein synthesis is usually the highest very early after ingestion and then wanes over time. But the results of that study suggest that the effect of protein ingestion on muscle connective tissue protein synthesis may be a more delayed response. If there is indeed a delayed response, you want to measure protein synthesis over a prolonged period, so you don't stop the measurement just as the effect starts happening. Therefore, we designed a study that had a prolonged measurement period compared to earlier studies on this topic. So, in our study, we investigated the impact of just exercise, just protein ingestion, or of a combination of exercise and protein ingestion on muscle connective tissue protein synthesis rates. The exercise session was performed in the evening, and protein ingestion was just before midnight, before the subjects went to sleep. The protein supplement consisted of 30 grams of micellar casein, which is a slowly digesting protein and thereby would provide building blocks for connective tissue throughout the entire night. Indeed, we clearly saw that pre-sleep protein ingestion increased plasma amino acids throughout the entire night in the groups that consumed protein. However, pre-sleep protein ingestion did not increase plasma glycine levels. And glycine is one of the main amino acids, so one of the main building blocks of connective tissue. Now, as expected, we saw a clear increase in muscle connective tissue protein synthesis rates in the groups that performed exercise. However, we observed no added effect from protein ingestion. There are some possible reasons why we did not observe any effect of protein ingestion. The first is that perhaps we simply didn't give enough protein. For example, we have previously shown that you need at least 40 grams of protein before sleep to observe a clear effect on overnight myofibrillar protein synthesis rates. Therefore, the same thing may be true for muscle connective tissue protein. But keep in mind that the only study that observed some possible indication of an effect provided 18 grams of protein over a 5-hour period. We measured over a longer period, 7.5 hours, representing overnight sleep, which is 50% longer. However, we provided almost 70% more protein. Another possibility is that we did not provide the appropriate type of protein. The casein protein that we provided did not increase plasma glycine levels. However, other proteins, such as collagen, are much higher in glycine. So maybe a different type of protein can provide the right building blocks for connective tissue. And a final explanation might be that protein ingestion simply has no effect on muscle connective tissue. Almost all studies seem to support this, with only one study finding a possible effect in part of the measurement period. However, that might have simply been coincidence. In conclusion, it's clear that exercise stimulates muscle connective tissue protein synthesis. The ingestion of milk protein does not appear to enhance this effect. However, protein ingestion is still beneficial to stimulate myofibrillar protein synthesis. Congratulations! You won a free subscription if you see this video. So make sure to claim your prize and hit the subscribe button.